Charlie Kirk, a government endorsed influencer. When you make these broad statements about black women, about black men, 1450, look, these guys are running with it here in the chat. So when he's saying about 14% commits 50% of the crime and all these things that are not properly extrapolated and are not properly explained, these statistics, and he gets his audience that we know that the majority of Americans read at a grade 6 level, right, which directly impacts their capability of interpreting news articles, statistics. Majority of Americans read at a 6th grade level. And hey, blacks, going back to your 14, if blacks are only 14% of the country and the majority of Americans are reading at a 6th grade level, do the math. That means many of those people are not black. Charlie Kirk would come into these debates and give these partial statistics. These guys, they know what they're doing. And that's why I said it was systematic, because these guys have law enforcement who follow them. Someone like Charlie Kirk, he was so large, he'll have maybe landlords that follow him, right? Maybe has educators who follow him, teachers who teach black children. And they're hearing that black people are dumb, they're slow, they're criminal-minded, they're this, they're that. So now the police officer, he just pulls out his AirPod. He just got done listening to the Charlie Kirk show, and he'd been hearing for the past 2.5 hours how criminal blacks are. So how do you think he's gonna do his job now? And then the teacher who just took the AirPod out her ear and heard how dumb blacks are, how do you think she's gonna treat the black kids in the school? And then the landlord who hears how shady blacks are, how do you think he's going to deal with his black tenants? So that is the definition of systematic. That is the systemic racism that people are referring to. But these guys, they're just like gaslight and say, oh, what, do you think there's a giant conspiracy against blacks? I don't know if they're too dumb to understand that that's how it works, or they are willingly trying to pretend like this is not a thing in order to push their agenda.